Happier staff leads to a more successful nursery. The best nurseries won't just be the ones that are in the best building or that just have the best resources. One of the biggest impacts on how well a child flourishes at nursery or in any other type of childcare is ones where staff are happy and create an environment whereby children can grow. So how can we support our staff to do this? This is what we'll discuss in this video. But first, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, Open Nursery with myself, Kurt Liania, where I support you to open, run and grow your own childcare business. In today's video, we're discussing how you can make your staff happier so that you can have a more successful nursery. The impact on having happier staff cannot be understated. You will struggle to run a successful business in any field if your staff are not happy to do their job. It will naturally lead to a higher staff turnover and difficulty in recruitment. Yet despite this, many nursery owners and managers do not prioritise this. If you want your nursery to improve, invest in your staff first before anything else. A lot of the skills that we use to develop and inspire our children can also be used to do the same for our staff team. One way we can do this is by creating a caring atmosphere. We as nursery owners, managers and those in leadership need to create an atmosphere to show that we actually care about our staff team. I know it can be difficult to show, especially as when you're in leadership you can be very busy. But this can start by just taking time on a regular basis to see how your team are doing on an individual level. Show enthusiasm for what they're doing both inside of work and outside of work. We do this with the children and families in our care, but sometimes we neglect to do this with our staff. Just by asking how they're doing and remembering something important about them, whether that be an event or something they like, can have a massive impact on their happiness and shows that you actually care about them. You should also take time to acknowledge the achievements that they've done too. This will aid to encourage them to continue to do the good work and will help them feel appreciated and respected. This all shows that you're interested in the work that your team does, you pay attention to it and you value it. We can also create happier staff by creating an enabling environment. We can create an enabling environment for staff by having clear routines and structure for them, having a clear set of rules for everyone to abide by. This is even better if they have had the opportunity to be a part of making these rules, by having resources available to them to enable them to do their job, by being fair and having good working conditions, and as already mentioned, by having a caring atmosphere. By providing this, you can really improve your team ethics and create an environment where everyone is working together. Giving feedback regularly is important too. We're all busy. However, staff can also be so busy with the everyday tasks of working in the nursery that they never take time to reflect on their own practice and don't know whether they're doing well or think about areas where they could improve. However, knowing how they are doing can have a massive impact on well-being and motivation. Some staff can go months or even years without any form of feedback from someone in leadership, which can be highly demoralizing. As a leader, you can encourage your staff by giving regular feedback on their practice and their work. This doesn't always have to be in an appraisal meeting or a supervision. It can just be done verbally as you go about your day. A simple, "I really liked how you was encouraging that child who was struggling to share. Keep it up." This just takes a few seconds to say, but can have a long impact on your staff. Just try to make sure that you're giving feedback regularly. Even if it's something negative and things aren't going well, you should still be giving feedback on this regularly too. If you are regularly giving feedback to staff, then the impact of negative feedback can be minimalised. Though you should always try to sandwich negative feedback around something positive and always offer some support with the negative feedback, for example by offering training. Always remember, we are never here to punish staff, so if they do something wrong, our role is to provide an opportunity for them to learn and grow from their actions or mistake. Though not just with feedback, we need to make sure that we are communicating with staff often and clearly. Sometimes we may have to adjust and change the way we communicate with our staff, depending on who we are communicating with. We do this with our children. Some children may respond well to singing instructions, others to more physical displays, and other children may potentially prefer a one-to-one conversation. We need to know our staff and know how they like to best communicate and use this form of communication for them. For example, some may prefer to sit down and have a meeting with you, others may prefer things in writing so they have a chance to read it in their own leisure. whereas others may want you to tell them things as and when things happen. Learning this will help you to better communicate with your staff. We also need to make sure that the instructions we are given to staff are clear and have been understood. Often staff will go away from meetings having not really understood what has been discussed and will then ask other colleagues for clarification. However, you really want to make sure that staff understand from you what is required, which may mean talking to some individuals separately after meetings to ensure this. Having meetings separately can be daunting for staff, which is why the previous points around creating an enabling environment, a caring atmosphere, and regular feedback will help mitigate this. Communicating the same thing in different ways can be time consuming, but will help immensely in ensuring that what you have put forward, whether that be a new policy or feedback on practice, is understood. Moving on to the next point, to make happier staff, is that you always have to remember that the quality of the staff will not all be the same level. So we need to be there to support all our staff to grow, no matter what level they are at. This is where your skills as a leader really comes in, being able to identify where your staff are at and where you can take them to their next steps. Again, you do this with the children in your care, so these are skills that you already have. Though it's important to remember not to expect your staff to become perfect overnight. You need to be setting realistic targets for them to improve and to support them fully in making these improvements. This will all help you to support staff to grow in your setting and help them to become better practitioners. You must not be punishing them or blaming them for a skill that they need improving, but be working with them to grow in a particular area. This all helps with staff morale and their general happiness. As staff improve, they will in turn be more confident in their role, and coupled with the regular feedback you'll be giving them, they will feel more valued. This will help with staff retention and with staff recruitment, as you would have created an environment where other staff will see that you really value your team and will recognise the positive environment that you have created for your staff. A lot of times we focus a lot of our energy as managers, leaders and owners on how children are developing and sometimes neglect our staff. However, if we focus on motivating and developing our staff, both will happen. If our ultimate goal is children's growth and the growth of our business, our focus should be on the well-being and function of the people that make that possible. And we do this, as mentioned, by creating a caring atmosphere, creating an enabling environment, giving feedback regularly, communicating often and clearly, and supporting staff to grow. If we do this, we'll have happier staff and ultimately a more successful nursery. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video useful, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want more support in supporting your staff, then check out the documents available on opennursery.co.uk. There you can get access to documents like employee self-evaluation forms, supervision templates, and peer-on-peer observation forms. Just check out the link here to download them. On the screen now is also a video that YouTube thinks you'll find useful, so check that out as well to continue learning. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best. God bless.